Once upon a time there was a kingdom filled with knights, castles, and many villages. In the center of the kingdom stood the royal castle, with high towers and flags waving in the wind. Deep within the castle walls was the royal library, filled from floor to ceiling with books of all kinds. The keeper of the royal library was a wise old dragon named Smaug. Smaug loved books and learning above all else. Each day he read book after book, gaining more knowledge about the world. The young knights and villagers were afraid of Smaug at first. But they soon realized that the old dragon was gentle and kind, despite his fierce appearance. When people came to visit the library, Smaug helped them find the perfect book for whatever they wanted to learn. Some read books on farming, others on crafting, and some read just for fun. Thanks to Smaug's care, the library grew and grew. The shelves were packed tight with books, more than anyone could read in a lifetime. As the years passed, a group of greedy knights grew jealous of Smaug and the royal library. "That dragon just sits there reading all day while we work hard," they complained. "And he won't let us take the valuable books from the library." The scheming knights came up with an idea to get rid of Smaug and ransacked the library. One dark night, they snuck up to the castle gates with a cart filled with barrels of oil. Quiet as mice, they poured oil all around the outside of the castle. Then they lit the oil on fire. The castle was soon engulfed in flames, smoke billowing into the night sky. Inside the castle, Smaug awoke to the smell of smoke. Realizing the library was in danger, he flew into action. The brave dragon beat his powerful wings, creating gusts of wind that kept the fire back. He used his tail, claws, wings and fiery breath to protect the castle however he could. The greedy knights fled as Smaug defended against the blaze through the night. By morning, the fire had burnt out, leaving the castle damaged but still standing. All of the library books were safe, thanks to Smaug's efforts. Yet when the king saw the damage, he was furious at the dragon who was supposed to protect the castle. "Smaug has failed me greatly," the king declared. The castle was nearly destroyed under his watch. Smaug tried to explain that knights had set the fire, but the king refused to listen. "You are hereby banished from this kingdom," shouted the king. Smaug had no choice but to tuck his wings and fly away in shame. Without anyone to care for the books, the once great library fell into ruin. Dust covered the shelves, cobwebs hung from the ceilings, and pages went unturned. No one came to read or gain knowledge anymore. Many years went by until one day, a bold young princess named Celeste went exploring in the old castle. Princess Celeste wandered deep into the ruins, where she discovered the forgotten library. "What a shame to let all these books go to waste," she said. The princess got to work tidying up the library. She dusted the shelves, swept the floors, and cleaned every last book until the room sparkled again. But Celeste was still sad looking at the empty shelves. If only there were someone to help her restore the library to its former glory. Little did Celeste know, not far away, Smaug was living alone in a small cave, missing the library as much as ever. He tried reading pebbles and stones, but it just wasn't the same without books. When Smaug heard that someone was fixing up the old library, he flew back to the castle as fast as his wings could carry him. The dragon and the princess were thrilled to meet each other. Together, they came up with a plan to repair the damage and refill the library's shelves. "I will find new books for the library," promised Smaug. The princess beamed, knowing with the dragon's help the library would be grand once more. Smaug traveled far and wide, searching every village and city for books of all kinds. He found history books and spell books, books of artwork and books of maps. His claws grasped cookbooks, joke books, and books of mysterious lore. Smaug carefully brought the books back to the library, filling more shelves every day. Thanks to Princess Celeste and Smaug, people from across the kingdom came flocking back to the castle library. Knights checked out books on swordsmanship, cooks looked for new recipes, and children searched for storybooks to read just for fun. The library buzzed with life and learning once more. When the greedy old knights saw the dragon had returned, they threatened to burn down the library again. But this time the king listened when Smaug told him about the knight's treachery. The king exiled the scheming knights and thanked Smaug for everything he'd done. From then on, the dragon stayed on as the royal librarian. Princess Celeste visited him often, and the two became dear friends. And they all lived happily ever after, surrounded by books and knowledge in the grand castle library.